Why the iPhone XR made me love the OnePlus 6T. That video is coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Why the iPhone XR made me love the OnePlus 6T. Let's get right into it, waste no time. I just want you to keep in mind, I've had these about 3 months or so, give or take on both. And keep in mind price between these two, because the 6T is several $100s cheaper than the XR, and in certain countries it's even more than that. I am speaking from the US perspective. So let's get on to the first reason why this XR made me love this OnePlus 6T. Okay, so the first reason that the XR made me love the 6T is design. Now, the reason I say that is not because it's colorful. The XR's got that nice colorful look, but the 6T has a sleeker feel. This feels a little bit thicker in the hand to me, and it doesn't have tapered edges on the rear, so it just feels like a bigger phone to hold than the more sleek, you can see tapered edges here of the 6T. So the 6T to me has a better feel in the hand when it comes to sleekness. So that's the first reason why the iPhone XR made me love the 6T. The XR is also a heavier phone, which some people say, well, that makes it feel a little bit more substantial to me. Well, the 6T is not super light in the fact it doesn't feel substantial. It's lighter, gives you a bigger display, and feels sleeker. So to me, the 6T actually has the better design here, but the XR has more colors. So that's where the XR still can shine potentially over potential 6T buyers. Okay, so my second reason is the notch. The notch on the XR, let me go ahead and get a white screen so you can see it, is just much larger. And I think most would agree, even Apple fans, the 6T has the better notch design here. It's like a teardrop notch. It's so much smaller, and it gives you more of an all-screen kind of feel here. Now, the XR also seemingly has thicker bezels along the side. You can see they're just thinner on the 6T. At the bottom, they're not much different either. So I would say overall, I do like the display, the way it looks better than the XR, just because that teardrop notch is less obtrusive than this one. Now, notches altogether, people seem to get used to them, but still, I do prefer the design and look of the one on the 6T, which is why the XR made me love this phone even more. Next up is display quality. Now, while the XR does have a pretty nice LCD display, it's just not comparable to the one on the 6T. The 6T has an OLED display here, which is, actually sharper as well with 1080p resolution. So the 6T to me is a much better value when it comes to its display quality. Now on camera, it's really hard to see this, but it's pretty obvious in person, and the 6T is actually more comparable to that of the iPhone XS's display and XS Max. While those are a little bit better, I think, than this display is definitely miles better than the one on the XR. You can also go ahead and hide the notch on this display. In addition to that, you can change the screen calibration to P3 sRGB adaptive and custom color modes. So the display overall, the experience in my past several months have made me love the 6T over the XR, hands down. So my fourth reason is USB-C. Now, while I'm not super happy about OnePlus removing the headphone jack, USB-C is basically becoming the universal standard, and the Lightning port is even probably going to go away on future iPhones. So having it now, you're already future-proofed here with the USB-C on the OnePlus 6T. So that's one of the big things I don't really like too much about any of the iPhones anymore, is because Apple went to the USB-C on the MacBooks and the iPad Pros, and even their iMac line has USB-C ports. So we just need to see that already, in my opinion, on the iPhone series. In addition to having USB-C, it also dash charges, which is a lot quicker in my experience than charging the iPhone XR. So if you're looking for that phone that you just, go take a shower and try to come out and have, your phone charged up to get on your way again, the OnePlus 6T is going to do that for you. It charges extremely fast, actually insanely fast. The only other phones I've seen faster are the Huawei devices with their supercharged technology, but the OnePlus 6T is a beast in the speed of charging, and that's my fifth reason why the XR just made me love the value proposition of the 6T. Okay, so the next reason the XR made me love the 6T is the camera. Now, keep in mind, the XR has one of the best cameras on any phone today, even though it is a single camera device. However, what I like about the 6T is that it not only gives you one lens, it gives you two lenses here for the device. So you get a dual camera, and keep in mind the price. At, you know, way less money, you get dual camera, and it's not like the 6T's cameras are soft or weak or anything like that. They're actually quite good. So if we click the camera, you can go ahead and take a photo right here. You can do that 2x thing here where you can't do that on the 10R. If we do scroll up, I like the software a lot more as well than what I see on the 10R, because every setting is right here and very useful for the 6T. So I really love the software capabilities of the camera. The timer's right where you would want it, right up there, because, you know, when we're shooting pictures of ourselves or we're shooting videos or anything, the timer needs to be right there in case you can't, you know, take it yourself and hold the phone. Over here you got portrait, you got night modes over here. So the 6T, to me, it just really has a nice camera setup, and I really enjoyed it over the 10Rs when it comes to just its usability and functionality. And I really like the 10R's video. I think it's better than the one on the 6T, which is limited at 10 minutes for 4K 60, but at least you have that. So I like the dual camera, and I like the software setup. The 10R made me love this setup for the 6T, especially considering its price point. The next reason is the unlocking methods. Now, the 6T does have the in-display fingerprint sensor, which is a nice new feature. It feels pretty futuristic using that for the 6T. However, what I really enjoyed over the 10R was just the speed of facial unlocks. So 3, 2, and 1. And you can see it just blazes right through, and this nails it pretty much every time. Now, the 10R is better in the dark, and I know some people are gonna say, come at me with that security argument. Well, that's just a camera, that's not that secure and all that, haha. Well, if you go into settings here, you do have an app locker here for this device. So if you don't want people getting into your stuff in your apps, you can go ahead and rectify that problem right there by just locking down your applications with a pin. So there's no chance of people getting into your application. So that kind of fixes the fact that you don't have, you know, the most secure face unlock. But I haven't been able to fool the 6T either. So that feature alone, being a much faster unlocking method, has made me love the 6T over the 10R. Even though the 10R has a cool way to unlock, it misses quite a bit and frustrates sometimes. The next reason is battery life. Now, the OnePlus 6T actually has a substantially larger battery. iPhone 10R users are gonna say there's no way the 6T is better battery life. Actually, it's about the same, if not better, in some situations. The 10R has great battery life for an iPhone, but remember, a lot of older iPhones didn't have great battery life. Androids have had great battery life for quite some time now. So the 6T, to me, has equal, if not better, battery life sometimes than the 10R, which, you know, I'm very impressed with if you've been watching my previous videos. So being cheaper and having a similar longevity when it comes to battery life made me love the 6T after using the 10R. Okay, guys, so the last reason that the 10R really made me appreciate and love the 6T is the speed. So the 6T has 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage on this model, and it's way less than the 10R for the spec. It also has a Snapdragon 845 CPU, which is a 10 nanometer chipset, where you do have the A12 Bionic 7 nanometer for the 10R. Now, on paper and technically speaking, the 10R is a faster phone, but it doesn't really feel that way in everyday use. So you can use the 6T and actually feel like it's just as fast, if not faster, than that of the 10R. So had no issues with speed, and this whole processor race is just getting kind of old at this point. It doesn't even seem like it matters anymore. It seems like the overall experience matters more than just the processor speed, because we reached that point where pretty much all phones are fast now. But for, you know, $300 or so less, you're getting twice the RAM here, and it's just not that much quicker for the 10R. So that really made me appreciate my purchase in the 6T. Okay, so in conclusion, this video was not made to bash the 10R. I love the 10R. I think it's a winner. It was just priced a little bit too high in international markets. So people who are not from the US really don't like what the 10R costs in terms of, you know, its starting price point for a 64 GB. I get that. But in the US, it's actually a pretty good deal at $749. But the OnePlus 6T is an even better deal. Even at T-Mobile, it's cheaper than the 10R. And with everything I said, that's pretty much why the 10R made me love the 6T. At the end of the day, there's many more things we could have talked about, like how the 6T has so much more customization, dark modes, but software with iOS is still a lot of people's preference. So I'm not going to go over here and just say those subjective things just about these two. The reasons I stated in this video are the reasons why the 10R made me love the 6T. Do you agree with these reasons? Do you disagree? Do you think that the 10R just blows away the 6T? Let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you have either of these phones? Please share your experience. We love to hear from you. Subscribe if you haven't already. I got an iPhone giveaway coming at 400,000 subscribers. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. I will catch you all in the next episode, and peace.